On today's episode, we put the 1999 sci-fi comedy film Galaxy Quest to the ultimate test. Never give up, never surrender. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Ooh, here it is. Never give up, never surrender.
Never give up, never surrender.
What's his name's line? The Thor of the rock, the hammer of blah, blah, blah. You will be avenged.
Oh, I was going to do that one.
Yeah.
But it was like too long.
It's very long.
Very long. It was very long. Very
That's why
long.
he was so sick of saying it, because it's like it's too long of a phrase, a catchphrase.
Oh my God, seriously. But everyone, welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm your co-host, Dan Dissinger, in LA, and I'm here with my longtime friend and co-host in New York, Manny Coelho. Manny, 2024 is here, recording new episode. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Stop right now. Follow us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Whatever social media you like. I know we're on Twitter, now known as X.
Oh yeah, we're on it.
Twitter. We're on that. We're on what else? We're on Threads. We're on everything. Dan keeps it going. We got a whole new look to the Instagram. It looks great. So
Looking
do
good.
that now. Welcome to the 90s, because 2024 is the year of the 90s. We want to give a huge shout out to Buzz in the Tower, because they have drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, finally.
They're starting.
Finally.
They grab the Pogs. And they're coming to the 90s, bro.
They grabbed their Pogs, their Magic the Gathering cards. They got together. They got their baggy Janko jeans out, put on some sort of like t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt, put on their Vans, and we're like, you know what?
Get that chain wallet out.
We got to stop talking about the chain Velcro wallet. We got to stop talking about, the Wraith. And we got to start talking about like the 90s, because this is where it's at right now.
The Wraith is definitely something I need to review with you. It has to happen. It has to.
We're not chained down by parameters.
We're not. We never said. We said pop culture, and it's 10 years, right? That's our rule. It has to be older than 10 years. That's all it has to be, ladies and gentlemen. So give us what you think we should be putting to the test. Doesn't have to be a movie. Doesn't have to be music. It could be food. Dan loves food challenges.
Dan loves food challenges. It's always good.
All right,
oh
so
my
guys,
God.
we took a vote. Dan put it on Instagram. We took a vote. I know Dan wanted to do this lost.
It was Galaxy Quest versus Clueless, and Galaxy Quest came out on top.
You know, I like this one more because Clueless. It's so much more. I'm not saying this is more or less popular, but like. You'd almost be like, of course, Clues passes as a 90s nostalgia. And it's like, it's like almost like a given. Like, you didn't even know this movie. You didn't even watch this movie.
I've never seen this movie before.
And there's a couple people I know that have never seen it.
There's a reason. And getting back on, Danny Facts here, we're going to put, say how, this is a sci-fi comedy film directed by Dean Parasot, written by David Howard and Robert Gordon. It's a parody and homage to sci-fi films and series, especially things like Star Trek and fandom, and its fandom. The film depicts the cast of a fictional cult series, Galaxy Quest, who are drawn into a real interstellar conflict by actual aliens, who think the series is an accurate documentary. Now, the cast is amazing, which is crazy to me because it's like, I can't believe I never saw this film. It stars Tim Allen. I can't. Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, who, if you didn't check out the Die Hard episode, which is episode 103, check it out. Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, Sam Rockwell, Daryl Mitchell, And also, I just want to also shout out, they don't put on the Wikipedia this actor, but truthfully, he was so amazing as the main alien, Enrico Colantoni, who I know from Just Shoot Me.
Okay.
If you ever watched that show.
Yes.
Amazing.
Dude, he was really good in this. And
absolutely.
What's his name from The Office? Did you mention him?
Rainn Wilson was in it.
Yeah.
Justin Long. Also, this actress.
Stellar cast.
Yeah, Missy Pyle, who she's really hilarious, as well as one of the aliens that actually falls in love with Tony Shalhoub.
Dude, Tony Shalhoub killed it in here. I want to say, like, this was, like, top-notch for the 90s. Like, even now, like, figure out, like, this. Some of these guys, this is probably one of their first big movies, right? And, like, no one probably, I don't know if people thought this was going to be a hit or not. Like,
I think they did. Well, Tim Allen was at the top of his power. Okay. I mean, seriously, Home Improvement is huge at this point. And I just want to, do you remember that episode of Home Improvement when they thought, what's his name? The middle kid. I totally forgot his name. The one who, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah.
Remember when they thought he had cancer in that show?
Yeah. Yo, that crazy show, there's a whole, like, theory of how dark that show was.
Totally dark.
Like, that was, like, it was really, like, you gotta watch some fan, like, write-ups on every episode and how dark it got and how he might have been making up this whole story and, like, his neighbor wasn't real and, like,
oh my God,
that Al was homeless and the only time
I love that.
And that he lived in the studio because he never had money for anything. God. Dude, it's a really, I love that. It's a really dark theory. There's some like YouTube videos and stuff about it too. But
I love that.
He was at his prime.
At his prime.
Did he do Santa Claus before or after this one?
I think the Santa Claus was before this because this came out in 99. So I believe the Santa Claus came out in the mid 90s somewhere, and check out our Santa Claus episode.
Yeah.
But that to me was the big deal, obviously. I mean, 1994 came out, the Santa Claus. So you got Tim Allen, but you also, you have other, like Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman,
Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman.
I mean, unbelievable. And he was so funny.
Awesome.
I mean, so funny.
Almost makes fun of himself.
Absolutely. I mean,
like, he to me was, this was Tropic Thunder of the 90s.
Oh my God. Okay? Yes, absolutely.
This was Tropic Thunder of the 90s. This was also, you could also say this is kind of like Last Action Hero. Like, it's kind of, it knows it's making fun of itself. It's making fun of a genre. Right? Mm-hmm. And Alan Rickman is, what's his name? Why can't I remember? Iron Man. Why can't I remember his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.'s character, like, where he's an actor, like classical. Remember, he's like, you can't make me go in. And he's like, the show must go on. He's like, damn you.
Damn you. That was a great scene. That was a great scene. Absolutely.
The whole thing in the beginning was great. Like, the fact it's like, they're in this, like, before, I guess, like, there's always been Comic-Con, but, like, Comic-Con has now hit mainstream. Like, everybody wants to go to Comic-Con. This was, like, a low, like, bootleg version of Comic-Con, but just for this show. Yeah. And people were there, but, like, it's these guys, it was just showing that these guys were has-beens.
Oh, yeah, and, absolutely.
Like, this is what they were holding on to continue to make some money. And to feel good and stuff like that. And like, obviously the main guy thought way highly of himself.
Oh, absolutely.
Tim Allen's character just was like so conceited. He sat by himself away from the crew. Like, got very humbled when he was in the bathroom and those two dudes were making fun of the whole convention.
Yeah. And then he shows his ass to those aliens.
Yes, he does in the next scene.
But wait, he is literally Buzz Lightyear in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like he thinks one thing of himself, and then his world collapses around him, and he kind of loses his mind. And then like he gets totally drunk, right? So like instead of obviously Buzz Lightyear is not going to get drunk, and check out our Toy Story episode, which is out right now. But you have to like, he is literally Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
100%. Right. And 100%. And so it's so weird to think about how many space movies like he was in. So you have that 1995, he's Buzz Lightyear. 1999, Galaxy Quest. Pretty sure he was probably in some other movie. Oh, that weird movie, Big Trouble, which he doesn't really go to space, but there's a rocket and there's a plane, so he's like not on Earth.
Because you brought this up and no,
I looked up how horrible that movie did. It was like a $40 million budget and it made $8 million or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I don't have to see this at all. All right.
No,
not a big deal. Okay.
Yeah, but. Unbelievable. There were so many parts of this movie that like I loved. Like I'm curious, like what were some of your favorite scenes in Galaxy Quest?
All right. So the rock scene, him fighting the rock monster was really good. That scene kind of reminded me. Have you ever seen the movie Mom and Dad Save the World?
No. Damn. It was a box in a video store that I always used to see, and I always would get it mixed up with like National Lampoon's Vacation because it just kind of looked like that sort of. And I was like, "What is this movie?"
Oh,
like,
dude, you have to watch that movie. We have to do that movie. It's ridiculous. It's another ridiculous movie. Like these people, it's like mom and dad are sitting at home. And they get teleported to this alien race that needs to save the world. Like they're just like TV watchers, and all they do is watch TV. All they want to do is watch TV, and like they get teleported to this. It's kind of like this movie, man. Like the basis of it is insane. It has nothing to do that he used to be a guy in a TV show. But anyways, if you guys haven't seen this movie and we gotten this far in this thing, you got to stop and watch this movie. Okay, they get picked up by these aliens who think they're real because they're seeing these television,
the historical documents.
Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, so I like that the rock fight was cool. It also reminded me of Coneheads. That whole right. Yeah. So like, there's so much like in this now that I'm thinking about it because I was watching it and I was like, man, I remember all these scenes, but like it's also a very like repetitive story that we saw in the 90s all the time, but I didn't mind at all. I like the whatchamacallit. What was the part? Why can't I think about it? The kid, when the guy's learning how to drive and now he's watching the TV shows when he was a kid. That guy's
amazing.
He's great.
That actor, I love that guy.
I thought he was great because I think he's the one that curses the most in the movie.
Oh, he's so funny.
And he's just like whatever. But I don't know. I thought all around it was good. I think the fact that like the nerdy kid where he didn't like him at first, but then he remembered that he had the walkie-talkie and he gets to use him.
Dude, Justin Long, like Justin Long just being Justin Long. I wanted to throw a wrench at him, like in dodgeball.
Exactly.
I was waiting for him to get hit in the face with a wrench at one point. I mean, he was so funny. And the surprise cameo in that to me was his mom, who was Susan from Seinfeld, who dies. Spoilers for anyone who never saw Seinfeld, but like that's
stupid thing.
Licking the envelopes.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, that's Susan.
That's Susan.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. But I loved a lot of parts of these movies, but those aliens were so amazing. All those actors who played the race of aliens that were being destroyed by the roided up Ninja Turtles.
Dude, roided up Ninja Turtle would be great in the Ninja Turtles movie.
They dressed up like the Ninja Turtles from Ninja Turtles 3. They had I was like, what is this?
Dude,
it was so weird.
The costumes on them,
phenomenal. Amazing.
Yeah.
Were those CGI? No, those are all practical, right?
Those are all practical.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yep. Bring back the practical. You got to do it.
You have to. Like, Top Gun 2. I mean, come on. I met someone that has watched Top Gun 2 like over 20 times.
Me.
Well, I know you, but someone else. I was like, wow. But anyway, like,
what do you think
those
about
aliens?
The aliens. Oh. Let me ask you this.
Okay,
they kept referring to each other as man and women, yet they're like squids.
Well, yes.
And so you're saying that they turned into, they had like a projector to make them shapeshift, right? So that
into human seals.
Into human seals. Yeah, because they couldn't move.
And they were like,
yeah.
like,
yeah. So like
everything.
They also watched Flipper. I'm not really sure why they like portrayed humans that way, but like why did they do that just to have them be more comfortable? Or they just did that because they're basing it on Galaxy Quest?
Well, I haven't seen much of Galaxy. No. Well, truthfully, I think they were just doing it like, what is that movie that did the same thing where it was like they took a projection of something? But I think it has to do with them just like going, oh, they look like that, we look like that. Like, we're just going to make ourselves look like this, so it's a comfortable image. But it was like they stayed that way constantly.
They did, even when they were being tortured. Only when they were getting electrocuted could they not hold the form. Or there was that one time when they all showed up at the ship and they're going and they're like scanning them. And you're like, who are these squids? And they're like, oh, sorry, we forgot to shapeshift again. So like, even when they were dying, none of them changed to that.
None of them changed back.
Like
they stayed
I'm
in
like,
character.
man, you're holding on strong. Like,
it's like acting, dude. They were like, I'm not going to break character.
No.
Like, not breaking character.
No. I'm like, could they fight better with the 8 arms?
I'm pretty sure these aliens can't fight. I'm pretty sure.
I think they were very non-confrontational because they were easily duped.
Right.
All the
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah. But I think like the problem with them is that they just like cannot speak English. When they were speaking, they was like, everything they did. That's why the actor that was the main he was so great.
Oh, hi. It was great. Dude,
but they were seals.
Fantastic.
They were dressed like seals. They were gray. Their hair was slicked. And they were just like...
Yes. Yeah.
If you're listening to this, just go to the video and just watch this whole episode. But one of my favorite things was when they asked them about Gilligan's Island. And they were like...
Oh, my God. And they got so upset.
Those poor people.
Yeah.
Those poor people.
No, that was great. So, but here's the thing: they did a replica of the ship, like to the T, watching these things.
Yeah.
Yet they're smart enough to build this tech.
Yeah.
Yet they couldn't figure this out.
I'm sorry. I was looking at a quote from the Sam Rockwell character when he's like freaking out and he's like, what's my last name? He's like, you have a last name? He's like, do I?
Yo, Sam Rockwell killed it. Guy, you mean Guy? Camera, crewman number 6?
He was so funny. Everything he did was just so ridiculous. What's my last name? It's like, you have a last name? Do I?
Yo, his character and what's his name? The guy from Monk. He was
Tony Shalhoub. He was in a whole other movie.
yo. Even when he's going to the vending machine and he's like, and then he shows up. Do we not talk about how he shows up?
I don't know. He just shows up.
He's just there.
He's in Monk. He was in Monk in this show. He was just.
Dan's lost his mind. Dan can't hold it in.
Oh my God.
Dude, him and guy number 6, guy crew number 6 they were both to me one of the best characters.
Seriously.
Best actors in this, both of them.
Yeah.
Like he shows up because I remember he didn't get beamed up with them.
No.
And first of all, the beam up, oh my God.
That is not a beam. That is they put you in a sack from like the abyss.
Yeah.
And then they shoot you to space through a wormhole.
Think about it. You have to see that.
Yeah.
And you're not breathing.
No.
You're not also losing air. I mean, obviously. But you're getting shot.
Yeah.
Through space.
You can't survive that.
Your brain can't survive that.
No, you would explode and you would show up in liquid form. It would just be horrifying. Are you kidding me? They all look like they would never going to survive that.
No.
Oh my God. That was so funny. Dude, the scene when Tim Allen was in the limousine and the woman, Missy Pyle, the actor Missy Pyle, who ends up getting named Jane Doe, who's in the show. Smiling like that. Like a maniac.
He's like, why doesn't she talk? Oh, her voice.
He's like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? And she's like, ah, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay. And like, he's just like, whatever. I'm just so hungover at this point.
I lost you.
I have no idea what's happening. I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, whatever.
Dan, you still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Why can't I hear you? Uh-oh. What happened, ladies and gentlemen? You still there? There you are. Okay.
Oh
You're
my
back.
God.
I didn't hear you. You were gone. Say that again. Well, you probably recorded on your side. So, but dude,
all this is staying in the podcast.
Yeah. So, all right. I don't even know. We're not even going in chronological order because
I have one job on this stupid ship.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. When they're like, why are you talking to the computer? That's the best part. Is like the fact that the computer is based on the television. So like it is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous thought process of like you're watching like Star Trek, you're watching this, and it's like why doesn't everybody just talk to the computer? And it's like no, only she can, and she repeats everything. She just repeats it all. That was the best part. But that is like those shows. I mean, I never really watched Star Trek. Like, I think I would watch like some episodes of like Star Trek The Next Generation when I was at my grandparents' house because there was nothing else to do because everyone else was just drinking coffee, eating cake. And I was in the living room spinning on one of those things. Yeah. Spinning on one of those things where you sit on, you spin in a circle and playing Simon. Sure. And then watching Star Trek. Yeah.
It literally is the show. I mean, the whole thing is basically Star Trek. I mean, it is. It was just so on point.
There's not, I was like, it's not even making fun of Star Wars. It's just Star Trek. It's like, it's making fun of even, it's the original Star Trek. The original Star Trek. Even when you think like, Alan Rickman's obviously like whatever non-human is on the ship. So like it's either Data or Spock or Worf. Yeah. Worf. And like has something crazy to say. And it's like, believes in this other, like, I love when they were like, oh, how are you enjoying your food? And he has to eat this like ridiculous bug that's still alive. That was so funny. Oh, we made the thing to replicate what you would have on your planet. Yeah. Just like Mom made. But my question is like, once Tim Allen like goes there to the first time, right? And he does nothing but put them in danger. Okay, hold on. I was going to say that. He gets woken up by these things and he just thinks he's being tossed into this like thing he signed up for to do. Yeah. If he was getting paid to do that, that was like the worst thing. He didn't do anything great. No. He was just like, yeah, do this. Okay, bye. And then, so they're so happy with it and they like don't realize that he just like, only one of the guys, one of the sidekicks, he's like watching, he's like, oh man, like we're fucked. We're fucked. They're the only people left. But he thinks like, oh, I went up to space. Like, why does he think he can do this shit? Yeah. I mean, it's all ego. Ego. He thinks he can save this. Fun of like, what's his name that played Picard? Not Picard. Kirk. What's his name? He doesn't Why can't I think of, why James, can't I think? No. Shit. Well, now I have to look this up, everybody. Why? Why am I paused right here? He sings Lucy in the Sky. Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. Dude, I know. I don't know. Him and Spock never got along. Him and Spock. And he's like, he thinks he's the greatest actor.
Why can't William Shatner? God,
yes, William Shatner.
What's wrong with us?
Dude, perfectly plays that. Price line, baby. Check that price. But so I thought that was it was good. He played egotistical. He was just like, all right, like I'm the one that's gonna save these people. Mm-hmm. Like you're on a show, dude. You're on a show.
It also shows like that thing where like actors can do everything, think they could do everything sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like because they can act and be in a band at the same, like, you know,
sure.
Like, no, like not choose one, but just know one is not going to be as great.
Yes.
Okay. Like I love Keanu Reeves, but I'm pretty sure Dog Star is not like a good band.
First time I'm hearing that he has a band called Dog Star.
You didn't know Keanu Reeves has a band?
No.
Oh, so, dude, so Dog Star.
Have you heard any songs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's, it's whatever. I mean, same thing with Johnny Depp. What's his band? The Vampires of Los Angeles or some crap like that?
Everybody wants to be a rock star, dude.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Remember Dane Cook said that. Comedians, all they want to do is be rock stars. Rock stars want to be comedians. Remember when they first opened the ship where they had to land because they had to go get this thing? They're like, guy's like, is there even air? I don't know. Like, they just step out. Like, there's no space.
I would not have gotten out of that. There's no way you're getting me out of that ship.
And again, Monk's just back in the ship, like, just
smelling. He's like, it is air. It's like your head would explode.
Done.
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay. And crazy. Oh, that whole scene was so funny too. When they asked Daryl Mitchell, like, what did he say? Now you give us a signal. He's like, all right, I'll just go. It's like, no, use the thing. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god, those little aliens with the butts. I don't know why they have butts.
I don't know why. They don't need to. You knew something was going to go on with those guys. They're like, oh, they're so cute. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not
that
cute.
I do remember I do remember that from the trailers. Like when the trailers for this movie was out, and in 99 when I was watching TV, I remember this trailer and that part specifically in the trailer. Oh my god!
And the best part is that they kept referring to old episodes. Like the reason why they were able to do all this is that it's just like in this episode. No, remember in this episode, it's like all of a sudden these guys, especially like, so like the whole time before that, everybody's just kind of making shit up, right? And they haven't told them that like they're not really like who they think they are. And then like when shit really goes down, all of a sudden these guys like team up together, like we got to get through this. Like remember episode 17? We're like when we were fighting. I'm like, you guys remember all those episodes? Like, are you not doing any other things? It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years.
It's like taking any other show and making it the basis for your life. It's just like, oh man, how am I gonna? I don't know. Like, how am I gonna get through this day? Well, you remember that episode of How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Remember what they? It's like, no.
Remember what they did? And like,
remember what they did?
Like, so it goes back to like the Tropic Thunder thing. I'm like, were we just watching an episode?
Right.
But then that dude died. I feel bad about that guy. He got shot, and then he had to do the Thor rock. Yeah. He will be avenged. And then and Rickman's hair started coming out because he just went off. Oh my
god.
Went off.
That was so funny. Yeah. That was so funny.
And of course, what's her name's like chest was showing more and more throughout the movie, which was funny because she said like all people wanted to talk about is my chest. They all did 6-page interview about my chest, and then like as the movie's going, like she's got ripped. She like they ripped her sleeve down to here, so she. I know. Like, and then like all you see is chest. I'm like,
I know.
It was all. It was great. The satire was phenomenal because you're just like, oh, we are watching a show. Or then the chompers in the middle of he's like, who puts this in the middle of the ship? And
that was so funny.
She's like, this episode is terribly written. This episode is terribly written. But then what's his name is helping him and his geek friends are just like all helping out.
Oh my
because of
God.
that, they're just watching the show. So.
That was amazing. That part was so funny because one thing for sure, the internet sucked in 1999.
Yes.
And there would be no way that they would be able to do any of that. I don't understand why internet, why the computers, graphics on computers are always just like 50 years ahead of their time when they do a movie. Because if it was us, it would be like dial up, it's well, I guess maybe I have no idea.
It was dial up then.
Yeah,
they showed it, I think.
And you're sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And in my case, I'm waiting for net zero.
Imagine net zero. Imagine the mom picks up the phone, ruins all the dial-up.
Right off.
That's it, dude. Off. The universe is destroyed. Like, done.
Oh my God. It was so funny. I was just like, come on. Looks like Tron. And it was just totally out of hand. I'm like, the internet and those computers are huge.
Yeah. And then
huge.
What's his name is asking about some like, well, in this episode, this happened. And he's like, it's just a show. It's just a show. It's like, why are you getting mad at these guys? They're paying your bills.
Literally.
$15 is an autograph.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What am I?
What was notes. Your favorite episode? I mean, what was your favorite scene?
It was like I loved when anytime Alan Rickman was just so jealous of Tim Allen, his character. Time. I mean, when they were on the planet and he was just like, they left and he's like, he came back and he's like, found an excuse to take your shirt off.
Yeah. First of all, why is Tim's shirt off?
Why am I seeing a shirtless Tim Allen?
Why? That was an odd choice, but that was funny. And yes, and of course, and then when Tim Allen gets caught and Alan Rickman's like, of course it's you. Of course it's you. And then even when he saves the people from suffocating, they're all chanting, what's his name's name?
Commander Taggart or whatever. And he's like, Jesus Christ.
God. He can never catch a break. He's always fighting with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny thing was at the end, when that ship, first of all, no one sees a spaceship. No one sees a spaceship barreling through the sky. No. Right? And then they not just lands. First of all, that ship, when it went over Justin Long, he should have been incinerated. Okay?
Goodbye. Okay. And why is Justin Long putting up his arm even higher?
Everyone's looking
what is it that you're actually doing?
They're shooting Roman candles bottle rockets.
What was their point of this whole thing?
To make a runway that they didn't even use. They crash land into the convention, kill hundreds of people, right? No. And then everyone's like, yeah!
Yeah, they were so excited. I'm like, you destroyed all the cars in this parking lot. Destroyed them.
Everyone looks distraught.
And it's an empty parking lot.
Tim Allen walks out of the ship and his shirt is tucked in. You had time to tuck his shirt. Daryl Mitchell walks out of the spaceship. He's like, oh. Yeah, because he just crash landed.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman's bleeding from the head.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell walks out and the guy announces him, another crew member. And then Tim Allen, shirt tucked in.
Hey, what's up?
What is happening?
Fantastic.
Oh my God. That was totally out of hand. Oh, when they announced Alan Rickman came out and the guy announced him, he was like, he's British. How many days do you think they were in space?
A day. That all happened in one day. Because they had a show the next day.
That is the craziest thing. This is one of those movies. It's one day. Well, the movie took place over 2 days, but they were in space for probably, yeah, you're right, a single day.
A single day.
That's a crazy day.
It was a crazy day. It had to be a crazy day because what's his name was on a rampage. And why we don't know. Why was that guy destroying them? That race.
Dude.
And what that guy didn't even know what Earth was. They brought him to Earth. That guy didn't even know what Earth was.
Dude.
They were far away. These aliens brought this I hope nobody's left in that ship because these aliens they showed them Earth. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, first of all, okay, that gun.
Oh, okay, go for it.
They all get shot in the end with that same gun that shoots. What is his name? Cyrus? What was the
Cirrus or Cyrus or Saris? I don't know.
And he incinerates and then turns into a confetti ball or like a golden string. The way that ends was like, what did I just? Okay.
And everyone was like,
because then it looked fake, right? And everybody cheers. I'm like, no, that should have been incinerate, goodbye, nothing. You don't see him, or like green blood everywhere.
Yeah, he should have exploded. He should have exploded
because they set it to a different. You know, you could set the taser or like to stun or to kill, and they set it to fucking golden confetti ball. That's what it turned into.
That was the weirdest thing. It was
that
so
ending
funny.
Was weird. It was like, we just need to wrap this up.
Yeah. It was really odd, but like, I mean,
and then think about the friends. They basically saved planet Earth, or just
they saved like the whole universe.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Those kids.
Yeah.
Because they knew
the internet
about the ship.
With the 1999 internet.
Dial-up internet. Yep.
With dial-up internet, it's so hard now, like having the internet that we have and watching that, having known what the internet was like, because we had that.
So slow. It would have been.
Yeah, it would have been like if Tim Allen called him, he would be like, "Bro, you're screwed because I got to wait for this to dial up, and then I somehow have to like Zoom with my friends." Which doesn't exist.
They were calling. Who are they calling? How are they talking to each other?
That's what I want.
On walkie-talkies?
No, they were on screen with each other.
No.
Yeah, there's a shot where they were all on like the screen with each other on the side.
Wow.
I didn't know they could do that.
I didn't know that in the 90s.
My Dell could not do that.
Wow. FaceTiming back then.
Yeah.
I thought that shit only happened like when we were in like mid 2000s.
Yeah, but could you talk with like 3 or 4 people on a screen?
I don't know. Those guys were like super advanced. None of them questioned anything this guy says. They just go like, that's ride or die friends right there. Ride or die. Bro, he calls up this guy. He's like, yo, you still got the schematics to blah, blah, blah. Not going like, hey, we're just going to go over this as a joke or something or like pretend. Was straight up like, I got no time to explain that this is real. Like they were just like, he's like, yeah, sure. I brought it up. Okay, no time to talk, no time for chit chat. Here we go, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait, did we just save the Earth? Did we just save universe? Like none of them, like, no. I would have been like, get me on your show.
Yeah, like, they're still going to get beat. We should have
seen those kids. Yeah. We should have seen those kids on the new show.
No, instead what's going to happen is they're going to go to school and they're going to get bullied still.
Yeah.
They're going to get beat up still.
They should have been on the show. I want to see post Galaxy Quest 2 follow those kids. What are they doing now? They're in like Silicon Valley and they came up with they came up with PayPal.
Okay, so it's funny you say that. I just want to say a few things, right? Okay. So first of all, the budget of this film was $45 million. It made $90.7 million. It was released on Christmas Day.
Wow.
In 1999. Okay. Now
this looks like Christmas Day. All right. I get it.
So I get it. So apparently
on Christmas Day. We used to know somebody. Yeah.
There you go. And now apparently, there were talks of a sequel. Had been going on since the film's release in 99, and this is on the Wikipedia, but it only began gaining traction in 2014 when Alan mentioned that there was a script. Sigourney Weaver and Rockwell mentioned they were interested in returning. However, Colin Tony has said he would prefer for there not to be a sequel unless it tarnished the characters from the first film. But then in April 2015, Paramount Television, along with the movie's co-writer Gordon and director Parasite and executive producer Johnson and Bernstein, announced they were looking to develop a television series based on Galaxy Quest. The movie was considered in a similar vein as Paramount's revivals of Minority Report and School of Rock as television series. Then in 2016, after the unexpected death of Alan Rickman, rest in peace, Tim Allen commented about the franchise's chance for revival. And he's like, I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm speaking way out of turn, but Galaxy Quest is really close to being resurrected, blah, blah, blah. But that's really it. So, however, plans were revived again in 2017. And then, it just kind of looks like here in 2021, it says, state that the film sequel script is nearly ready to go as is 2021. But yeah, they're trying to work on another, and then Simon Pegg, who is actually the guy who made, oh my God, that movie, Buzz, Hot Fuzz, and, that zombie movie, which I'm forgetting.
Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah. Not Dawn of the Dead, but, Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
But, he was working on developing a Galaxy Quest television series as well in 2021. But then in 2023, Paramount has stated in the early stages of the Galaxy Quest series in April 2023. So it's still kind of like they've been trying to get a sequel or a television series going since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like, will it be good? Because like, you're no longer parodying. Like, so you're saying like these actors are going to go and actually save so they're doing their job. They are living their life that they
I think they would just end up making Galaxy Quest. Like the show within the movie. That's how I see that them doing it. Because it's now taken way too long. You can't, unless you just don't reboot it. Unless you do a sequel and you use all the original actors except for Alan Rickman, obviously, and you just kind of do another adventure or some shit like that. Like you can't do anything else.
The aliens, the SEAL aliens come back. Right. Oh, we need your help. And there's another like freaking guy who believes he rules the earth, and he's coming to Earth.
Something
and
like that.
Something's, you gotta help us.
Or
but the whole thing, it would have to be another parody of another Star Trek-like or science fiction genre.
Yeah.
That's what it would have to be. Or you just do Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. Or you just go, fuck it, it's been so long, we're not doing this shit.
Yeah. Because, will people still like it?
That's the thing. I think this movie has, a very, specific cult following.
Dude, never give up, never surrender is things that me and my uncle say all the time. Even my niece. And then I said it yesterday. She called me, and I was like, guess what? Guess what I'm watching? And I'm like, what? I was like, never give up, never surrender. She's like, what is that? I was like, Galaxy Quest. She's like, I never heard of it. I'm like, what do you think me and Bobby say this for all the time? She's like, oh, I thought it was just like a saying we say, since I was a kid, you said that while we play games, never give up. Because we never let her win. And she would get, upset. And we were like, we're not going to let you win just because you're a kid. Never give up, never surrender. So she thought, we just, said that. And she didn't realize. I'm like, oh, you got to watch the movie. It's a good movie. So. And then Kristen's never seen it. You've never seen it. Yeah,
no.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So listen to this. So some of the trivia is really interesting. Harold Ramis, who Egon from Ghostbusters and who's, create Caddyshack and all these things.
Yeah.
He wanted to, originally, I guess he was the director or whatever. He wanted to cast Alec Baldwin in the lead role, which then he turned down. Then Steve Martin and Kevin Kline were considered, though Kline turned it down for family reasons. When Tim Allen was cast, Ramis left the project. But after seeing the film, Ramis said he was ultimately impressed with Allen's performance.
So he's probably like, I hate this actor. He sucks. That's why he left the project.
Absolutely.
He actually did a really good job. I thought Tim Allen did a good job in this. I was trying to think about who else could play him? Could it be Bill Murray?
No.
No.
This is a weird, I think, a left field like choice. Because of the physical comedy and the weird like attitude and swarminess, like the smirkiness and stuff of him, I would go Kevin James from King of Queens. I think Kevin James would be hilarious in this part.
You know who would be good?
Go.
The guy who played in Coneheads.
Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd would be good. I think all just because of the rock scene. I think he would have been good as like a guy who's so full of himself, a kind of wash up. You know, I mean, he's great in Ghostbusters. I think he would be good in that. I think he'd be good in that. I think he. Good.
Yeah.
I think at the time too in the 90s, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Fucking what's his name?
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis. Yeah, he could probably play. Well, he's too short.
No, he would have to be like,
he'd be like this
Tony Shalhoub's character.
Dude, Tony Shalhoub's character was. I still don't like. All of a sudden, I look down and then I look up and he's there. He's on the ship, and I'm like, why are we not talking about like? Did he? How was his entrance into this world? He wasn't shocked. That guy. No. That guy did not care.
No.
What his like? He's like, oh, is that another gig? We should go do another gig. Like, he didn't. He just kind of rolled with it. He's like, oh, I just had sex with a squid. Awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. The other,
whoa,
that was great. The other thing which is really interesting is, so Sam Rockwell based his portrayal, his character, on Bill Paxton's performance in James Cameron's classic Aliens.
Okay.
In particular, his elevated fear of being killed and his mental collapse upon seeing a motion detector that shows their enemy closing in on them. And then the casting director loved Enrico Colanti's audition so much that she broke protocols, showed this to other actors to demonstrate how the theremins should behave.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's really amazing. I mean, it's great because I think they all I think that was a really amazing way to look at it. They all
copied the way to look. Yeah, I thought he was. It was the way they moved was so funny.
When he told him when they told him that he was a liar, his face, even though,
and then I love at the end where he still thinks he's like the ship was this big. What a great deception! What a great I'm like, oh no, he was telling the truth.
Yeah,
he's telling the truth. And because of this, they got they started a new gas sequence.
Yeah, dude, when Daryl Mitchell was driving that thing, and then he scratched when he that long scene of I was like, oh my god, that is so funny. None of them responded.
They were all just like, ah.
I love it. It's just pull it out. It's just what?
What? He's like, oh, I'm glad I don't have that pressure. He's like, you're the one that drives. No one could do anything else. Because of the way it was based. I was like, so how did they drive the thing?
I don't know.
I guess they didn't at the time. Because it was all based on them.
Oh my god.
So they basically made a ship just for these guys to save their people, but yet it was only them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think they should leave it alone. I don't want to see a sequel of it.
I think they had their chance.
They had it. It kind of... I don't even want to see a reboot. I think you just need to do another satire. No. Do another satire, I don't want to say it's satire because you're not making fun of it. It's kind of like an homage satire to a certain genre or show from a different time.
Yeah. That's better.
You can't do this one.
No.
They're going to, Dan.
I know.
Have you seen the Santa Clauses?
Not all of them, just that first one.
And then Mighty Duckses?
No, only up to...
There's a series.
Oh, no.
Santa Clauses.
No, I never saw that. I didn't see the series of Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not the same. You don't. You know. It takes too long to feel.
Yeah, it's
there's something about movies.
You have to.
Middle.
You got it. Yeah, and a
Get
perfect
it all
time.
in 2 hours. Less than 2
hour
hours
and 42 minutes.
You know what we
Boom.
got to bring back? We got to bring back the 90-minute movie.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. 100%.
These 2 hour, 3 hour movies, bro.
I'm not watching them.
Good time. But back in the day, they used to have intermission. They don't do that now.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching a 3 hour
3 hours, 3 hour film.
Yeah.
Listen, I know. I waste a lot of my time. We sit here. We watch movies for a living. Well, I don't know if this is our living, but we want it to be a living, right? So guys,
the podcast.
Start following and like the podcast. Get this going. We're going to get some merch out there. You're going to send us some Venmo.
Sure.
We're going to order and send it to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, but dude, 3 hours, 4 hours, stop it.
I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. I know that some of these things are like masterpieces.
Like Oppenheimer, I heard it was great. But every time I look at the time, I'm like, no. And listen, I binge watched a series that's longer than that. Much longer.
But
at least
it's a
I'm
series.
getting endorphin hits very quickly of each episode.
Exactly.
Because there's a middle and end every hour. If I'm at a 3 hour movie, I'm at the middle, I'm still at an hour and a half. And I'm going,
that's not good.
What the fuck is going on? I need a 90-minute movie. I want a 90-minute comedy. Liar, liar. Bring it. That
Absolutely.
pen is blue. The goddamn pen is blue, Dan.
We're going to have to do Liar, Liar.
It passes. It's ridiculous and awful, but it passes. Yeah, I think
absolutely.
So. I just recently watched that. So I just was in the mood. Truman Show, great movie. See, that's another thing. So that's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a satire, but it is kind of making fun of like, the
reality shows,
the show, but not just that show was supposed to be like, oh, hey, everything's great. It's like, hello, welcome, Mr. Rogers, like, oh, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. For the kids, I don't see you, good afternoon and good night,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, just
everybody. I think that's tangent right there. Nice little tangent we got there. People, I think we're here at the moment where we do what we do, figure out whether if this passes the nostalgia test and is still good, it's just nostalgic, or we got to throw it in the bin, throw it into the garbage.
I'm definitely not throwing it in the garbage.
Definitely not throwing it in the garbage.
No.
I'm going to say, I think it passes the nostalgia test. I think this movie's still good. It was great. I enjoyed every second of it.
What's great is that you say that it's true because it's the true feeling because you've never seen it.
I'm the control.
So I love this. Now we got to do ones that we got to do 90 ones that I haven't seen and then you haven't seen.
Cool as ice.
Cool as ice. I have never seen that. And no.
We're doing it.
So the thing for me, man, I almost didn't want to pass this. And that was because I've seen it so many times that I was like, is it still that funny? And I think I was into it because I was taking notes, but I was like, it wasn't as funny as I thought it was. But now that when we're talking about it and I see your reaction and I'm like, what? It is a really good, it's done really fun. Well.
Yeah.
None of the acting is bad. There's not one actor in this movie that I was like, wow, they mailed it in. That it was perfect by everything. The extras, the people who had a couple of lines in it. Like even the villain, fantastic villain.
Oh, that guy, unreal.
It was great.
Unbelievable.
I want to see him in another, like that costume needed to come up somewhere else.
It was unreal.
This is an Easter egg. Like bring that villain back.
Absolutely.
Let's
Amazing.
get into the Galaxy Quest world and just like go back in time and that guy's still alive and he's attacking like a Marvel guy.
Oh my God, please.
Like, bring him back. Like, please just do that. Why not? That guy was, I mean, if I was that practical costume, I would make all my costumes look like that. It was amazing. So good. For a movie that was supposed to be about a cheesy show, the villains were the best.
Excellent.
Which I guess is done on purpose.
No, they were so good. Every single one of them. and like this movie was just so fun. Like I don't know, like I loved it. Loved it.
Time. Yeah, I would say definitely passes. And thank you for making, thank you for the fans. We got
voting.
A lot of votes on this.
We got a lot of votes. We're going to send some more out. We're sending some more votes out, people, for 90s films. And we got some good choices coming up. So definitely follow us on
Clueless
Instagram.
Out altogether?
No, Clueless got a lot of votes too.
Okay, so we're still doing good. Clueless, but this was just what we should do next. We should get a female perspective on Clueless.
We have
I want a female guest.
Yeah. Hit us up.
We want a female podcaster. What is the one that was the three girls who review?
I hate your taste in movies.
I hate your taste in movies.
There's some people from the Quadcast Pro or something, Quad Pro Cast, or there's someone on that this other podcast that's really good. But we're coming with a lot of 90s this year. So looking forward to it.
Bro, I'm doing the 90s, man. Everywhere you look is 90s. The 80s is past.
It's over.
I mean, we're not going to
We're going back to it. Yeah, we're going to have to do like Masters of the 90s. Universe.
Yo, we're going to play what everybody wants, man. We got to give them what they want, Dan. Customers
we'll
always right.
Want.
Sometimes.
We'll give the people what they want. People, if you loved this show, hit the like button right now. Share this with everyone you know. Share with your best friend. Watch this. Listen to it. Definitely watch it on your YouTube channel. You'll see the link there. And please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Nostalgia Test, on X at Nostalgia Test. Hit us up. Mix it up with us.
Twitter.
Get crazy. Manny just froze. People.
You're frozen. You're frozen on my end. It's all
well, people, everyone. Peace.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.